Mr. Dennis Sullivan.
You got a crossing guard stuff on. You hall monitor?
No, I wanted to
Remember
make.
that back in the day?
Yes, I do.
Remember that back when we were in elementary school? Hall monitors.
Arcade Elementary.
That's awesome. That's classic.
Well, I wanted to make a point. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you got on early. Remember
Okay,
how I
what's up?
told you that I was doing some driving for dollars?
Yeah.
Well, what I did is I went to like I said, my process is I go to the Lakeland sanitation department, and they have a map of Lakeland, and they have it divided up into four areas. And on Monday, they have an area where they pick up garbage. On Tuesday, they have an area where they pick up garbage, and so on. So what I did is I just mapped out on a Google map.
Oh, wow.
And what I do is while I'm driving, I just green them in.
That's cool.
I have put 50 vacant or distressed properties on a list. And then what I do is I send them a yellow letter. Says, hi, my name's Mike. I would like to buy your house at, and I put in the address. Please call me at, I put in a telephone tracking number. So when they call me, it says Ari Lead D for D Lakeland.
Okay.
And then I had a guy call me today off of one of my yellow letters.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. He's a investor. He wants to get rid of this property. It's a rental. He says the property's worth 280. He says he'll take 200,000 for it. I said, how much rehab does it need? Medium or heavy? And he said, medium. So, that being said, 70% of ARB would be 182,000. So obviously that's not a deal for a rehabber. 70,000 minus repairs.
Yeah.
He wants 200,000. So bottom line, he's got it priced out where he's going to keep the profit. You got to do the work and then wait for appreciation.
No.
We never do that. But what I said was, what's your budget? He didn't want to tell me what the budget was, but he said that they're going to rehab it for retail. So he doesn't have a mortgage on it. So, but so that was Friday. I just showed you. This was today.
That's kind of cool, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot of driving, but that's kind of cool.
Actually, it's not that much driving. It's only an hour and 30 minutes.
Just driving around.
And no, not just driving around. It's going and driving up and down each street in a neighborhood. And I do it on the garbage collection days, because guess what? Vacant properties don't put up on the side of the road.
Garbage
Garbage cans. That's
kind of cool.
So much easier to find the opportunities.
That's kind of cool.
And since last Monday, when I said I was going to start doing this, I did it on Tuesday. I did it on I did it on Monday. I did it on Tuesday. Wednesday is not a garbage pickup day. It's actually a leaves and big stuff. And then Thursday obviously was Thanksgiving. And then Friday, they don't pick up on Saturday or Sunday. And then I got out again today. But so Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and today I put 50 properties on a list.
Right on.
And they're vacant or seriously run down. Like I went by one, and these are in older neighborhoods. But yeah, man, that's what I did today.
That's cool.
Yeah. But that's how you find deals.
So question.
Sure.
I still have been gun shy to call on seller, direct to seller. I don't know why. Probably because I'm worried that they're going to say no, but The second thing is I'm just making sure that I'm supposed to be calling in the evening time because it doesn't make sense to call during the day.
Dennis,
Yeah.
ask me if I want to sell my house.
Mr. Grady, are you interested in selling your home?
No, what the fuck you calling me for?
I just
There.
thought that
Now you just got your first no. That's no excuse. Did it kill you?
no.
Who cares
No.
what they say? Now, that
Yeah,
being
no.
said, what I do is I call them. Keep in mind, I use Google Voice. I call them and send them a text.
Are you using REI reply?
No, I'm using Google Voice.
Just Google Voice? Okay.
It's free.
Yeah, I know. I got Google Voice too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my process is I just drive around neighborhoods, find shitty houses. I go to PropWire, which is free. I look up who owns it. Oh, by the way, I looked at two properties that when I looked up who the owner was, the owner owned 10 other properties. I didn't call them. Not to sell, I called them because they're clearly investors.
Yeah.
I've put 3 buyers on my buyers list since last Monday.
That's cool.
All I did was call them up and say, hey, listen, I was looking at your house. And in looking up your phone number, I see that you own 10 other properties. Are you a real estate investor? Yes. Are you looking to buy more properties? Yes. I'm a wholesaler. Tell me, what are you looking for? And they give you a laundry list of what they're looking for.
That's what me and Joe did.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so the moral of the story is if you don't want to talk to them, send them a text. And if you don't want to waste a lot of money, use Google Voice. It's free.
Okay.
And if your phone number gets blocked, don't use a primary. Google Voice is your primary phone. I mean, I use it as my primary phone. I am texting from another Google Voice, but I've got like 4 different Google Voice numbers.
Yeah, I need to get another one for real estate. I just been
Yeah, they're
using
free.
my
Just get another email and get a Google Voice. Now, don't go blasting out 100 texts a day. You know, you got to kind of grow it a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah,
All
I
right.
drive around. And then the other thing I do when I'm driving around, when I see a vacant property,
Hi
I
guys,
take,
by the way.
what?
I just said hi guys, by the way.
Oh, hi guys. I take this sticky note, which says, my name is Mike. Would you consider a free, no risk, no obligation, all cash offer for your house? Please call me. And then I've got my call tracking phone number on there. So when somebody calls this number, it shows up in my Google Voice as RE lead D is in drive, 4 D is in drive, Lakeland.
Awesome.
I get out of my truck and I walk up to the front door and I'm wearing this. Now, I don't look like some Joe Schmo that's casing a place. I look like I work for the city. And when you're walking up to a shitty house with something that looks like this, nobody even thinks twice. 50 properties in 4 days.
Pretty cool.
And I haven't even scratched the scratch of this whole big city yet.
Brady, what's written on your stuff again? You said what? Would you like to cash off or what? Consider a free cash offer.
All cash offer.
All cash offer.
All right, you ready? Write this down.
I'm writing.
My name is, obviously your name is not Mike. In your
Got
case,
it.
my name is Carol.
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider
Mm-hmm.
a free,
Got it.
no risk,
No risk. That's what I messed up.
no
No
obligation,
risk. No obligation.
all cash offer
Mm-hmm.
for your house?
Okay.
Please call me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have them call a call tracking number. And if you guys want an inexpensive call tracking number, let me know. I'll charge you like $20 a month because that's what it cost me.
How did you get call tracking number? I know Google Voice tracks my number and it gives me an email and a text. How did you get a tracking number?
I've had a tracking service for probably 10 years.
All right.
Yeah. I have analytic call tracking that it's a service that I've had for 10 years, and every piece of marketing I do, I call track everything. If I'm where that came from is 10 years ago, I had an online marketing agency, and I had a lot of dentists and chiropractors and plastic surgeons that were customers. And so anytime, I was setting up any kind of marketing for them, whether it was, YouTube, or if it was Facebook, or if it was a postcard, or, whatever advertising they were doing, I would give them a phone number, and we would track their marketing. Now, chiropractors, dentists, and, all the medical people were paying me like anywhere from $60 to $100 a month for that tracking number.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I'll give it to you guys for like $20.
So what me and Joe did was we called some sellers or buyers. Did buyers today, me and him. And then I helped Adrian with using my privy and showing him a couple things. And so just told him to, do your underwriting. Don't go off of Keegley's underwriting and then submit it to them, because it makes more sense for you because you know what you're seeing versus somebody else.
So true.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, direct to seller, for me, direct to seller is so much more fun than talking to a bunch of idiot realtors.
Sorry about that.
Especially when you're going after distressed houses. And the
Yep.
reason why is you go to a garage. I'm all right. This is Cyber Monday. You go on, Amazon. Everything on Amazon is, as expensive as they can get people to buy it at. When you go to a garage sale, people way undervalue stuff. And that's the thing about direct to seller is sellers don't know. It's an eyesore to them. They feel guilty about it, so they undervalue stuff. I tried Jamil's way for a year. I'm not nutty about it because I can't stand talking to dumb people, i.e. realtors. So, and let me not make a blanket statement. Let me say that 99% of realtors give 1% a bad name.
Brady, that's blanket. 99%. That's blanket.
But it's not 100%, so it's not blanket.
You're not covering the pinky toe.
Yeah, that's right. Like I just closed a deal with an 84-year-old gentleman. I told you about you guys this, but it was brought to me by Kathleen, my realtor in Orlando. But she, like I said, she gets it. She understands marketing. She understands what investors do, and she understands what we bring to the marketplace. This guy's 84. He doesn't want to have a gazillion people going through his house. He doesn't want to give it to a realtor for 4, 5, or 6 months where they can't sell it. He just wants a quick sale. So I met with him 3 months ago. His wife was still alive, but sick. She ended up passing away about a month ago. But he said, I'm going to sell it to you because you're so nice to me and you're willing to work with me. So that's exactly what I did. So I told him, I said, I can buy this house from you in 21 days. And he's like, well, I'd really like to stay until like January 15th after the holidays. I said, all right, fine. So I've got to work it out. I've already reached out to a hedge fund that said that they'll buy it, and I'll get a $15,000 assignment fee. But I've got some time, so I'm going to market it to some other people. See if I can get my assignment fee up a little bit.
Well, the interesting thing is with if you listen to people on Astro regarding agent outreach, a lot of them always say pocket listing, pocket listing, pocket listing. So it's hidden. It's not on the market. So it's kind of almost like all pretty close to direct to seller. Maybe maybe have an agent, maybe not.
Yeah, I get it.
So
Yeah, I get it. But
And some of
remember, the seller is still paying the agent's commission, so you can only beat them down so far before they got to pay the agent commission.
yeah, and some of them I've that are updated and all fixed up. I'm like, well, seller finance if they're wanting to,
Yeah,
but it has to make sense.
yeah. Hell, you can afford to pay retail with seller financing.
Yeah.
Like this guy that I talked to today that called in for one of the yellow letters. He's an investor, and his motivation is he wants to. I asked him if he had a mortgage on it. He said no, and then he volunteered to me. He wants to sell this house. He said I could have the house for 200,000. That's worth 280, all fixed up. It's probably going to take 30 or 40 to make it right, but he said he wants to take the money and buy and pay off other mortgages he have that have balloons coming due. So immediately I know this guy's not motivated. That's not, I mean, that's not motivation. I want to pay down other debt. That's not motivation.
Well, he's going to have to do something with those other properties because they're coming due. That balloon is nothing nice.
Well, that's the thing. He's going to rehab this property that I called about, and then he's going to sell it for retail. So if he rehabs it, puts 30 or 40 into it, sells it for 280, it's a little bit better than $250,000 to pay off other debt.
Or if he sells the other houses and seller finances them to you, that'd be even better. Then you can put the balloon on it.
Yeah, but he's an investor, so
Yeah.
I'd rather have him as a buyer than try to beat him down on a price.
Yeah, there's a lot, what I've noticed since I've gotten in here in the last year, there's a lot of investors that I don't want to call them lazy, but I don't understand why, if you've been doing this for a while, have gotten these ridiculous prices to where, it's almost retail and you're not going to make any money on it, and you're trying to sell it. I don't get that. I just, it doesn't make any sense to me.
You may not have gotten everything you wanted from Jamil, but what you now know more than 99% of the people in the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
It may not be everything you wanted, but you're still way light years ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, I don't got any. I'll be honest, I don't have any deals and I haven't closed anything, but I'll tell you what, I've gotten a lot of freaking knowledge where I could just talk. I could be in a coma for like at least, let's say, 3 weeks, and I come out of the coma and still talk about this, and they'll still know what I'm doing.
So starting tonight, after you get off this webinar or this Zoom call, go to Phoenix's sanitation department, get a map of Phoenix, find out what zones they have Phoenix broken up into to pick up garbage.
I know that.
Pick out tomorrow's Tuesday, find a part of the city that they're picking up garbage on Tuesday, and then do what I did, print out a Google map, outline it, and then go there tomorrow from 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. About 10 a.m. is when people start bringing their garbage cans in, but they're definitely not doing it 8 o'clock in the morning. All right. And the truck really doesn't start till at least in Lakeland, doesn't start till 7:30. People are still pushing their shit out before they go to work.
Ours starts at 5 for recycle, 10, 10:15, 10:30 for trash.
There you go. So
Same day.
So people will put them out at 8 o'clock in the morning. So you got from 8, and I'm not saying do it all day long, just do it 2 hours every day. And like I said, in 4 days, I put 50 distressed properties on the list. 50.
I like that. I'm gonna go get me another Google phone today.
And then, oh, by the way, go to Home Depot and buy one of these for $10.
I like that thing, man. That is, you know what I told them guys? I said this is a hall monitor, like back in high school or back in elementary school. Hall monitor.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm telling you what, you get out of your vehicle and you're walking up to somebody's driveway in a shitty looking house. You're wearing one of these, neighbors don't even look twice at you.
Yep.
Because they think you're from the city.
Yep.
Now, that being said, if I can't find these owners, because, you know, like True People Search, if I, and, you know, not only do I stick that on the door, but I also take that same note and I put it on the yellow letter, throw it in a envelope. Not a white envelope, a colored envelope. You can get these on Amazon for like $20, 500 of them. Your return address, your, you know, who you're sending it to, and a live stamp. Live stamp. And you mail this to them with that yellow letter. It says the exact same thing that's on the sticky note. When I get these back, I don't throw them away. Then what I do is I know it didn't go to the seller. And if I can't find their phone number, then I'll go back to the property and I'll go to the neighbors on either side and knock on the door. Just say, hey, listen, I'm trying to get a hold of the, of your neighbor here. Do you have any idea how, you know, how to get a hold of them? And the neighbors always know where they are. Always.
How much are you spending on direct to seller for marketing?
Nice, Joe.
I love it.
Oh, there it is. Nice.
Nice, Joe. Nice.
There you go, right there. A roll of 100 stamps is like $102 now.
Okay.
Or maybe whatever this is, whatever a roll of stamps is.
Yeah.
Roll of stamps. So there's what? $220.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's almost done. But yeah, I just send out yellow letters. I learned the whole yellow letter thing from Ron LeGrand, and postcards and all the other fancy dancy marketing gets about a 1 or 2% open rate. Those yellow letters, I've had 40-45% open rates. And the reason why is it doesn't look like anything else. It's a handwritten note, and people are like, some dude was riding by and he took the time to handwrite a note. Nobody handwrites note anymore.
Nope.
Everybody does them on computers.
Mike, let me ask you a question on that. So I'm dealing with pre-foreclosures direct to seller.
Yep.
I do want to do letters because
Okay.
I know it's effective, especially at first. I think it's kind of more effective to do that, especially if you're a 6'3", 250-pound black dude that's, you know, pretty good in shape, you know, in Phoenix. So I think with the picture on it, but I'm not too sure on what I should actually, because I've thought about it before, but I don't know how to word the letter. I don't know
Here you go.
exactly.
You got a piece of paper and a pen?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Write this down.
Okay.
My name is Adrian.
Okay.
Next line. Would you consider A? Next line. Free. Next line. No risk. Next line. No obligation. Skip a line. Next line after that. All cash offer. Skip
That's
a line.
it.
Next line, for your house. Skip a line. Next line, please call me. Skip a line. And then your call tracking number. If you need a call tracking number, I'll charge you $20 a month.
Okay.
And basically what that call tracking number, right? And right here it is. This is the sticky note that I stick on doors. But this is the same information that I put in my yellow letter. And this phone number goes to my Google Voice. And when somebody calls the tracking number, not only is their number tracked of the date and time, but then it also shows up in my Google Voice that it's where is it? Real estate. I have a label as RE lead exclamation point exclamation point exclamation point. D4D for driving for dollars, and then the city that I'm driving in, Lakeland. That way, when I, when it's the phone starts ringing and I see that, I'm like, oh, pick that up right now.
Mhm. Okay.
But this sticky note, which I stick on the door, is the exact same yellow letter that I send in the green envelope.
So you don't really get all fancy with it, Mike. That's really what I mean. I just want to say, I just don't want to look crazy. You know what I mean?
Why not look crazy? When you do what everybody else does, you'll get the same results everybody else gets.
Okay. I'm thinking more on a professional level. I just don't want to look,
Do you want to be Mr. Slick real estate investor? I'm driving a Ferrari, or you want to
No.
be just a guy buying a house?
just a guy.
This looks like just a guy buying a house.
Okay. Yeah,
I
makes
have
sense.
had people call me on the phone and they're like, taking it upside, like, you actually wrote this. I called you because we get all kinds of letters. You actually wrote this. I'm like, yes. And she said, are you a professional real estate investor? I say, yes. And she said, I can't believe that I called you. I said, you've been the victim of effective marketing. And then they laugh because this does not look sophisticated.
No.
Everybody else, when you look sophisticated, you're competing with everybody else trying to look professional. You
Okay.
send this, people are going to respond to this because people don't want to be sold. They really do want to be sold, but they don't want to admit it.
Right.
I learned
Okay.
this. I learned this from Ron LeGrand way back in 2005.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. That's what you said. I'm looking at it from a bigger picture, and I'm looking at it from the wrong angle. My perspective is thinking from corporate down, but I hear you. I agree with you.
In 2006, 2007, and 2008, I had this guy. He was like 22 years old, and his girlfriend. All they did all day long was smoke weed, play video games, and write yellow letters for me.
All right.
I was sending out like 500 yellow letters a week.
Okay.
I am not kidding.
I believe you. I'm sure I can find
They
somebody.
just get baked and write letters. And they're like, hey, do you mind? The first week, they're like, hey, we screwed these up. So we start again. I'm like, no, if you screw them up, leave it. Screw ups make it look real.
Okay.
Misspell something, or if I'm like, I don't cross a T or a scribble, the wrong thing. I cross it out
Mhm.
because it looks like you're driving by, writing it in a car.
Yeah.
The less fancy you look, the more successful you'll be.
Okay. I'm glad you said that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I did that with my my outreach for EMD funding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got all nice and fancy. Check this out. I took the words that I copied off of somebody's, what it might say,
Right.
effective marketing.
Right.
You've been a victim of effective marketing.
I
Right.
took those and I dropped them into ChatGPT, and it made it all
That's what
nice
I'm-
and fancy.
Yeah, that's
And I
exactly.
took and I cut. I said, give me 5 versions of that. I have 5 versions. I cut each and every one of them out, tested them all out. You know how many responses I got to the fancy GPT?
Probably
Zero.
none.
0. I looked at somebody else doing the exact same thing I was doing, and you know what he said? Hey, do you need EMD funding? DM me.
Okay.
Dude had 15 responses. I'm like,
Yeah.
on one post?
Yeah.
So I learned something, and guess what my outreach looks like? Hey.
Now I gotta
Yeah,
know, dude. I wrote this for a reason. What are you doing?
Showing support.
I mean, why do you have one of these?
Oh, I worked with a buddy of mine. He's he's a general contractor.
Okay.
He started his own company, and then he and I he's more like family than he is a friend.
Gotcha.
So you know how hard it is to work with family. So
Hey,
he had me.
Let me just say, My sister is not only a Biden voter, she wanted to vote for Bernie Sanders.
So he and I tried, but we're worlds apart, and he's a great guy. I learned a ton of him. He and I were on the HOA board. So
Right.
when we were doing projects around here, I was cheating and I was using his resources, for the projects.
Right.
He was giving me free scope of work and he was doing all of these things. And so that worked out. But anyway, he tried to go into business for himself and he brought in nothing but family and very close friends like me. And we were all just different personalities when it came to that. I'm a little let's just say I'm a little intense, I like checklists. Okay. I like updates. All right. When I text you for an update, is because I'm actually on the other line with the person asking for an update,
Right.
So it's just one of those, but he gave me this because he was going to send me on he had government contracts.
Right. Gotcha.
I can't get out of the car without one of these on.
Yeah. Get it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I know you're more of a, the funding side of this, but if you ever want to do, drive around, door knocking or just, looking, scouting for vacant properties. But Adrian, you can get these at Office Depot or Staples or there you go. I mean, I buy these things for a 10-pack for you get 10 of these pads.
I
There you
got
go.
a few. Yeah, I've had to ever since I started this, just because of the amount of notes I take on a phone call. So
And then after I get off, when I'm relaxing, not doing real estate stuff, I'm just watching some brain dead TV stuff or maybe a football game or something like that. I just sit there writing
Right.
letters.
Okay.
And like I said, when I scaled it up, that's when I went out and hired somebody to do it.
Yeah, because I thought about all that, but I'm not gonna do all that yet. Not until I know proof of concept.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Or keep it short and simple.
Right.
But like Joe said, if you want EMD funding, DM me.
No, it makes sense.
There's no
Especially in
fluff
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
What did
want
you
to make it easier. And I'm
What
overthinking it, to be honest.
do? You have a corporate job?
No, right now, no.
Did you have a corporate job?
Oh yes.
And that's
And
where
I
that
never want to go back.
and that's where that bad education comes from, where it's more about
Yeah.
image. When I was working at the newspaper, my last corporate job, there were people, I swear to God, their entire job was going from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what exactly do you do?
Right.
And then the other people spend 70%, 75% of their time covering their ass and 25% of their time doing their job.
I agree.
Yeah. And that's where you learn that it's about image and you got to be professional and blah, 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 blah. When you get to be an entrepreneur, it's about one thing: get a lead, get a deal done. I don't care, And the interesting thing is, if you follow some of the bigger gurus like King Kang or whatever, when he first started, he was going up and showing up at people's houses with a suit and tie on, and he was closing like 1 out of 10 deals. Then he's like, this is stupid. He put on a pair of sneakers, he put on a pair of jeans, and he put on a hoodie. Immediately went to like 60%. He closed. You walk around in a suit and tie in this business, people get scared. You show up and you look like them, you're just a guy buying a house. They don't know all about your buyers list. They don't know all about your marketing, your Facebook groups, and all that other stuff. All they know is you're just a guy buying a house.
Yeah, I'm just overthinking it.
It's a paradigm shift.
Because I've been thinking about it for a while, and it just, I looked online at different ways to write it, how I should list it, should I have a header, like all types of craziness that I really just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's 2 rules that I follow. One is, when it comes to tasks, do what's closest to money first. The second thing is, and this is a blanket rule about how to run any business, the less I do, the more I make. And that's something I've got that bumper sticker in my office, I got from Round the Grand. The less I do, the more I make. So Joe makes a post. Need EMD funding? DM me. It's pretty hard to screw that up. It's not ambiguous. People, people that need EMD funding are going to DM him. Boom.
And the crazy thing is, that's not all I get. Hey, do you do gap funding?
There you go. Yep.
I saw your post. I've got a property for sale. All they see is investor.
Yeah.
That's it. All it said was EMD. And next thing you know, somebody's looking to sell their property in Redding, California. Because of this. I got a lead from just doing that.
Let me ask you a question. When you make that post, need EMD funding, ? DM me. Is that an image or is it just text?
Just text.
Just text.
Just text. Yep.
No image, no picture, no nothing.
No colors in the background, change color of the words, nothing like that. No fancy pictures. Just
And I was asking that because I swear to God, tomorrow I'm going to post that. I want to see if it worked for me.
Yeah.
And if it does, guess who I'm calling?
Yeah, we're right here. We're right here.
Carol.
Yep. Yeah, me and Carol are right here.
But I'm gonna post that tomorrow. Because I'm sure that when I joined a bunch of investor groups when I was marketing that property in Indianapolis. I've got this property that I just got under contract in Venice. So I'm going to join a bunch of groups down in Venice. I belong to a bunch in Tampa, a bunch in Orlando. There's a gazillion Facebook groups.
Yep. Yep.
All the investors need EMDs.
And what's going to happen, I'm going to put it on a spreadsheet, label it Mike, and update it, send it to you.
Yeah.
And now you have email, phone number, name of an investor that's working in that particular area. You get a property and you say, hey, I know somebody in that market.
Yeah.
Are you buying? Are you selling? Or both?
Exactly.
Yep.
And again, it goes back to the theme of this whole Zoom call. Let's work together to get deals. I don't care how the deals come in. Let's just do deals.
Yeah. And
I don't need to know how to do EMD deals. And I won't know until Joe sells his book to me for $97. I'm your first customer, dude.
Yeah.
But the thing about until then, if I get a deal, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's fairly simple. Quick little process. I streamlined everything. Oh, I've got my
or Carol, because I know Carol's on here.
Yeah. I don't know if I emailed Carol my I have a checklist that I put together.
Mhm.
And I'm still updating that checklist because there's always one other thing that you've got to add to it. And then of course I'm gonna add at the back end all the terms. The one that I send in the email. This is what we spoke about. This is what we agreed to. Please send me an email. Send me a response confirming that you agree to these terms.
Right.
Okay, so Jay, you need to send us the updated one because I know you keep updating it. So send me the latest one you have.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Thanks.
Because I'm constantly having to change it. And like I said, at the end, at the back page, the second page, I'm gonna put down my little script of what I write in the email once everything we've agreed. I send them that so it's in black and white. It's right there in our first email to each other. And that way, when we all come back to it and, because these things, I'm in a chain right now that's 40 emails long. And this thing just likes to bundle it out. I won't tell you what the nightmare that I just went through right now, but I'm mad at Gmail. It's the first time it's ever happened.
The file just gets thicker and thicker and thicker. Every email I print out, because I can't tell you how many times I'm like, I know it's here in Google, so I can't find it.
Oh, no,
and this is that coin-operated laundry. I sent the contract over to him, and then he came back with questions, but I printed out the email.
Nice. See, well, no, I have an email where on this one lead that I've got right now, and it was me, the lender who's working with me, and then of course my other business partner, her and I are working on these things together. And it said there was 2 emails in there. Perfect. So here we go. Last week, holidays, all of this. And I get on the phone with everybody today because today's a priority. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, what are y'all reading? I only got 2 emails. She was, it's in that chain. And I looked, and Google somehow scooted everything to the right. So when you look at it, it says 2, but it put everything in a string all the way down. And it says 2, but there's actually 12 emails in there. I missed the entire conversation.
And it was
And
probably a Google update that you didn't know about.
I don't know. That's the only email that this has happened to. So we are trying to clean this mess up. And today's Monday. So of course, you know, I'm just like you, Mike. Everybody wants to contact me today. Me and Dennis, his phone was ringing while we were on doing our searches. And then as soon as he looks up at the camera, I'm looking down at my phone. Our phones are ringing, so that's a good thing on a
That's
Monday
right.
morning. On a Monday morning, man, the phone's ringing. We're like, okay, that's good. That's good. Monday.
Yeah, keeping the phone ringing is a good thing. Getting overwhelmed is a good thing. So, let me move on a little bit. Has anybody done any deals this week?
I haven't done any deals. I locked up a property. I signed it. We got a buyer that's pretty, they want it, but we'll see. We'll see by Friday.
Do tell what's going on.
I'm not too sure. She said she wanted it this morning, so we're waiting on her, but she didn't respond to any of our texts or emails, so we're kind of wondering what's going on.
No,
But
tell me about
the COE doesn't end until the 8th of December. It's a fire burn property. I got it at 25%. So I feel
you got
pretty
it at
good.
25%.
Yeah.
How extensive is the burn?
The roof is really, really bad. But besides that, I haven't walked it. My partner did. He took pics. He says the roof is really, really bad, but besides that, he doesn't think it's too bad.
I mean,
We went-
what's the roof going to cost you? 25, 30 grand?
He's got to be replaced completely.
What's that?
Completely. It's got to be completely replaced.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. What's the roof? 25, 30 grand total?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, on the cost of a roof.
Yeah. That's
Is it a single family?
Yeah.
Nashville?
Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, it shouldn't be more than 12.
He's got to
Because of-
replace rafters. He's got to put the whole.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So that's a whole different, yeah, you got to replace rafters, and if anything happened to the structure itself, you know, the bones,
Yeah.
Is it a concrete block house?
No.
Wood frame?
Wood frame.
Hmm.
Yeah, if I remember. Yeah. Yeah. I'm hazy on it, you guys, to be honest. And
That's
I
all right.
probably shouldn't be, but
But bottom
My
line,
partner
if you
was
got it at
gung-ho.
25%, that's got to be a damn near what the land value is.
a little bit. I actually think I got it about 20, 25, a little high. But my partner was somebody else had locked it right around where I got it, and they didn't even get offers for it. But he was absolutely confident that we could get it. So he went hard EMD on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you hopefully put down $100.
500. It wasn't that much.
Oh yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
No, because we got it so low.
You know, if you
So-
do a Google search, there are people that specialize in burnouts.
I know. I have a couple people. I'm kind of letting him handle it because this is his specialty. But if I don't get a response by Wednesday or Thursday, there's some people I'm going to start calling. I just wanted to let him have it because I assigned it to him and he was very, very confident. So we'll see.
Right.
I
Okay.
mean, I have another one. The other one I talked to you guys about last week, that one, she wants to move forward. I don't like it, to be honest. I don't know if I can make enough money on it. 'Cause there's too much rehab work. So I actually have to speak to a GC on that. That one I could lock. I told her I'd make a decision by tomorrow. So we'll
Well,
see.
I can tell you that I changed the language in my contract that I don't have a inspection deadline anymore. The inspection goes right up until the day of close.
Yeah, you told me that. So, yeah, I was gonna say, well, we did the same thing kind of with this, but it was hard immediately, so not really.
Yeah, but no. Yeah, in other words, what I'm saying to you is the EMD never goes hard until day of closing.
Yeah, could you send me that? Is
Sure.
that possible? Just so I can look at it?
Sure.
Just how you word it, just so I can see?
Yeah.
Because when
Actually, I didn't add any words. I took words out.
you did?
Yeah, because it normally says EMD. I don't want. I'm not going to quote it correctly.
So so since you said that, the realtors always make it 24 hours.
You know why?
Well, I think I know why. Just could see how the level of seriousness, obviously.
No, it's not. Those are all excuses. What it is retail buyers, all right, are flaky. So all the realtors have learned to, make that EMD go hard to try to lock you in. Well, we're not retail buyers. We're motivated by the deal. Not by, I'm just going to go buy a random house, and live in it for 20 years and hope for appreciation.
Right.
So the realtors have just been trained wrong. Now,
Okay.
in a hot market, they can get away with that because you're competing with, you put in an offer and they're going to get 5 or 6 other offers on that property in 2 hours. Those days are gone. We're now in a down market. So now we set the terms. We as the buyers.
Okay.
And again, this is another reason why I prefer going direct to sellers, so you don't have to deal with that.
I agree.
I don't have to re-educate a realtor who's used to working in a hot market and has never worked in a down market. And anybody who's had a real estate license less than 15 years has not seen a down market.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
agree with you, Mike.
I'll send it to you because, for the next 5 or 6, maybe even 7 years, market's going to go down. Maybe not drop, but it's going to go down, tick, 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 and then it'll stay level for a while, and then it'll start to go back up.
What's the time frame? Next 2-3 years?
It's going to tick down for 1% a month for the next 2 to 3 to 4 years, and then it'll bottom out for 2 to 3 years, and then it'll start going back up. Yep,
Appreciate that.
it's all cyclical.
Yeah, I just didn't have a time frame. I knew it would, but I just was wondering time frame wise how long this process is going to take, whether it's going to take 12 months, 2 years, but no,
Stock market is on a 7-year cycle and crash. 7-year cycle, well, maybe not crash, but pullback. 7-year
Okay.
up, pullback.
Correction.
7-year up, pullback. Real estate is longer. Real estate's more 15 to 20.
Okay.
It's
All right,
cyclical.
I appreciate
If you go back in the United States and look at real estate valuations, since I started tracking it way back in the 1930s, it's up, boop, up, boop, up.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Just real estate, interest rates, just me being a loan officer before. Yeah, those 15-year cycles, it does change roughly in our time frame. So yeah, that does make sense.
So what we do is we shift our strategies depending on what market we're in. Right now, we're in a buyer's phase 1. We just came out of a seller's phase 2.
Okay, that's high level stuff, Mike. You going over my head. I appreciate it, but yeah, okay.
It's all about
right
the
on.
data, man. I am just a data guy. That's it. I know what the trends are. I didn't know them last time, but then again, a lot of it is on Google.
Yeah, but there's so much
search a lot
stuff
of
on there, Mike. Some of the
Sure.
stuff I don't even know if it's really even valid. Some of these people, and yeah, and especially with real estate, there's so much stuff that's just bogus. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
stuff people be saying, and just, I don't know.
Well,
So.
And look at how everybody grows their Instagram or their TikTok or their YouTube channel. They give away free. And then once they get some traction, then it's all of a sudden, buy my course. They all learned it from Russell Brunson. Russell Brunson learned it from God knows who, but it's the same thing over and over and over again. You know? So you take the free stuff, and then when that guy starts selling the stuff, move on to the next guy. The reventure.com or whatever, he's got a lot of really great data.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
reventure.com. Reventure. Yep. And to be honest with you, that's where I get the data for the markets that I track.
Okay.
Yep. And he gets it directly. I mean, I would say 80% I get the data from him because he puts it in really nice charts. And then the other 20% I get from my own sources, like when I'm looking at a specific market for median income or median home value, I actually will get that from the realtor.com website.
Just so much information, Mike. You know, I told you.
But it's really,
I figured I had a leg up.
but
Well, I mean, I just figured I had a leg up coming from the mortgage industry, but I don't know nothing about nothing. And that's why Jamil always says he only knows about 5–10% of this, because there's just so much stuff.
well, see, that's the thing. What do you really care about? I want to know, are properties appreciating or depreciating? I want to know what the median home value is in a down market. So the market's going to tick down 1% a month for the next 3 or 4 years. I only buy below the median. And the reason why is all the people above the median are going to move down. And I keep an image on my phone just to remind me. And I know I've shared this before. I can share it again. Okay. 18 months ago, when mortgages were at 3%, a $3,000 a month mortgage payment or budget would buy you a $741,000 house. Skip ahead to today, where the least expensive mortgage you can get is 7%. That'll buy you a same $3,000 a month budget will buy you a $470,000 house.
That's why I'm not a loan officer no more, Mike. Because I'm not beating my head against the wall, because nobody's going to take that.
Because the moral of the story is all those buyers that were above the median have now moved down to below the median.
Right.
That's where the buyers have moved to. So there's more buyers.
Right.
And the thing about it is as wholesalers, we get distressed properties. We send it over to a rehabber. That rehabber is going to be able to put the money into it and then flip it because it's below the median. And I had somebody send me a property they want, a wholesale dealer, $941,000, with an ARV of like 1.6. I texted them back, not my market. Stop sending me this stuff. Granted, the median in Miami is a bit higher, but it ain't, $1 million. It's more, I think it's more like 640 or something like that.
Yeah.
But see how it fits together?
It does. It makes sense.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, a lot of little parts.
Yeah. The other thing that I get directly from realtor.com is days on market.
What's the difference?
Increasing days on market means it's taking longer and longer and longer for realtors to sell a house. If the property hasn't sold in 30 days, there's something wrong with the house or there's something wrong with the pricing. And once it gets to 60 days, now the seller's starting to go, hey, what's up with Mr. Realtor? And when it gets to 90 days, now they're halfway through their listing agreement. At 100+ days, they're on the downward slope and they're 2 months away from losing that listing Now you not only do you have an aggravated seller, but now you have a motivated realtor. That's why I go after listings that have been on the market for 100+ days.
Yeah, me and Dennis, we ran into that earlier today where the price was way too high. And we looked at it like, well, what's going on here? And you look at it and you know that there's something wrong. It's not so much the price, it's the house. Because you go on there, it's a listing that's been on there, I think, what was it, 45 days, Dennis? And it had 2 pictures.
There you go.
They're trying to be
Yeah.
sneaky. Yeah.
Yep.
There's something wrong with the house. They don't
There's
want to
something
show
wrong
you.
with the house.
Mhm.
And you look on there, and one of the things that I ask always for a seller's disclosure. I want to know.
Yeah.
Front before I, and if the realtor doesn't send it to me, okay. Right next to that house on Privy, there was another one.
Exactly. Exactly.
So Dennis and I, we had a great experience today, didn't we, Dennis? We learned a lot. And Dennis and I, our research and stuff, the way we looked for buyers is exactly the same. We do the exact same technique. So what we're doing is that we're gonna meet next Wednesday. Carol, I think Carol, she wanted to jump on there. And we're just gonna pick a market, get cash buyers, find them, do their research, call them.
Yep.
Put them on a spreadsheet.
Did you guys see the most recent TikTok that Pace put out? He's driving in a truck or whatever he's driving in, and he says, if you're brand new, call foreclosures and expireds.
Yeah, I saw that YouTube.
There you
short.
go.
YouTube
YouTube or TikTok or whatever it was. I don't remember where I saw it, but he says, if you're brand spanking new, call foreclosures, call expireds. Foreclosures, they got a hard deadline. They're going to lose the house. Expireds, they can't give it to a realtor. They've already given it to a realtor and the realtor couldn't sell it. So if there's any motivation whatsoever, they can't just give it to a realtor because they have already tried that and it didn't work. So what are they going to do? Throw it up on Zillow?
Question.
Go ahead, bud.
Well, I got 2 questions then. Can you contact a seller when it's in foreclosure, not pre-foreclosure, foreclosure?
No, because they don't own it. The
How
bank
do you-
owns it.
So how do you have to contact the bank then?
Yep. And given the last crash in 2009, Congress, in their infinite wisdom, put in all kinds of regulations on banks. The banks are going to be keeping these properties on their balance sheet for 6 months. So if you find a property that's REO, real estate owned, in other words, owned by the bank, go 81 days after the bank takes it back, and then they'll be motivated. Up until then, they don't care.
So I thought we would be able to save it for the seller because banks don't want to have the house. They want the money.
But Congress Congress created regulations the last time there was a banking failure, which was in 2009. So now when they take them back, they hold them for 6 months. Day 181, they're motivated to get rid of them because they want the money.
What's all this jive that people tell me that, they go to the court steps of the court and, last minute and they're able to save the house?
All right.
What-
First off, the courtroom or the courthouse steps is a metaphor.
Okay.
It's actually a room in the courthouse,
Okay.
but it's just a room. And the clerk of the court comes in and they've got a folder with a list and you have, real estate investors, you got, all kinds of stuff. And they just go down through the list. Do we have any bids for property at ABC Street? And then Dennis Silver raises a hand. He goes $100. And the clerk goes, are there any other bids? Well, If there's other investors that want that property, they're going to bid it up, bid it up, bid it up. If there's a representative from the bank, they're going to bid it up, bid it up, bid it up. Or the bank might send in a pre-bid. But if nobody says anything, you just bought a house for $100. Now, that's the simplified version, but you know, you want to find some of the best buyers in the world, go there and just introduce yourself. You don't even have to place bids, just get people's names and phone numbers. They're buyers. Now, the problem that I have here in Polk County is it's all electronic. You don't even get to go to the courthouse anymore and actually meet live people.
OTC is what it's called.
I don't think it's called over the counter, but it's electronic. But yeah, you can go. I mean, you make an offer for $100. If nobody bids you up, you just bought a house for $100.
Okay.
And if the bank screwed up and made a mistake and missed it, it wipes out that mortgage. All gone. Bye-bye.
All right.
Foreclosure wipes out that mortgage. So what ends up happening is that, all right, so let's say you got a property that's worth $300,000, regular 3-bedroom, 2-bed, nice neighborhood. It's in foreclosure, and let's say that the people bought it 5 years ago and there's a $150,000 mortgage on it. If the bank screws up and lets it fall through the cracks and you come in and say, I bid $100 and they don't bid, they get wiped out. Now, that being said, you've got banks generally don't make mistakes, but I mean, they don't make mistakes often. They make mistakes, but they don't make them often. And then you're competing against other real estate investors like us that have cash. And the thing about those bids is you've got 24 hours to perform. So if you bid $100,000, you got to show up with a cashier's check the next day.
My second question was for Carol. I'm just seeing how that $22 million hotel situation went.
Oh, okay. I called the person you told me. He was in the Philippines. He was in the Philippines, and he asked the right questions, but he said he wasn't going to be back for a minute.
So he lives here.
Yeah, he lives here. I think
No,
he's
but
down there visiting, probably for the holidays, the Thanksgiving holiday. But he put me in touch with another friend of his that asked some questions, and I answered the question, and they have not come back to me, so it's up to me to do the follow-up. But I did call him, he didn't answer, and I texted him, and then he texted back about an hour later and said, he said, I don't know what time it was in the Philippines, but something like 3 a.m. But he said he was there for a while, but he has a friend that does this sort of stuff. So I'm going to follow up tomorrow with it. Yeah, but thank you.
Cool.
Yep. Now, I have a question.
Go ahead, Carol. What's up?
I had a call today that somebody wanted to actually wanted funds for 20K. But this is unusual. He has 2 properties. One that's going to close in about 7 days, and one that he has a hard money fund on it. He has on that one, I think it's out. He has 125K for rehab, hard money rehab. So the one that's going in 7 days, he used all his funds to work on that one because it's going in 7 days. So now he needs funds to work on the one that he has the hard money rehab money on, because he has to do the work first before he can get a drawdown. Right. So because he uses funds to finish the one that's closing in a week, he has no funds to do the one that he has the rehab money to draw down on. So I ask, he's gonna pay a good amount. He's gonna pay about 35 to 40% on the returns. So my question that I asked him, I think I talked to Joe earlier, so I want to make sure we're asking the right questions. I asked him, I said, I want to see the hard money lender paperwork that says you do have money for rehab scheduled for 125. And then the next question is, if we lend you the 20K plus the returns, how are you going to pay us back when are you gonna pay us back? He says he's gonna pay us back in 30 to 60 days, but the payment is coming from the drawdown money. So in other words, he wants 20,000 to do the work, and then he's gonna get the drawdown. I said, well, the drawdown is gonna be 20,000. Where are you gonna get the difference to pay me? He said the drawdown is gonna ask for 30,000 because the drawdown is gonna submit the invoice for material and labor. And since he writes up his invoice for labor, he can submit any amount of money he wants. So that's how he's gonna pay us back. And the other part of it, I said, I need a second payback just in case that will work. He has another property that he said he'll willing to put the lien on. And he also have the second property in Tampa that's going to close in 7 days. So there's 3 ways to get the money back. But I'm like, what question should I have asked him that I'd missed?
That sounds to me like you got it covered. You got 3 different ways to get the money back. Yeah.
Okay. And my last question is, what kind of paperwork do I need? Is a regular JV saying what the plans are, how he's going to pay me back, and put a lien on the property if I'm going to go that way? Because he gave me three payback options as well. Should I go to the lien on the property, or should I just go do the JV for the money that's going to come back from the draw?
I'm gonna say this and be completely honest with you. I've never done anything like this before. So I'm not gonna speculate.
Yeah.
Trying to think of anybody that I know that has.
Yeah. This is an unusual one. Yeah. And now my thing is, how do I structure the paperwork?
Yeah.
Is it a regular JV, just the spec that I put in the information that we agreed on?
You're a Gator, right?
Yeah.
This is I would think that this would be a question for your Gator community.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm more in the wholesaling and then, the buy and hold aspect. I've never done any, money deals like you and Joe do.
Right.
But I would think that, and I was just thinking of my list of Gators, that I made,
Yeah.
there were some people in there
yeah.
that do a lot of deals, and
yeah. I talked to Joe and I talked to some other Gators that I said, I'll just bring it here and see if you have any other different stuff than what we had talked about early. Because I figured we'd just do a JV and put whatever we agree in it. And he signs it and he said, and then I asked him how we're gonna pay it because there's no escrow account to pay it in. And he said, what did he say? He said we could go through escrow, but it's just we give him the escrow money and the escrow people give him the money. Or we can go about just do a JV, sign a promissory note, sign the paperwork for the lien on the property, have it certified, et cetera, and then that will be it.
Do you have any attorneys that you trust?
I do. I have my sister-in-law as an attorney. She's a probate attorney. Yeah.
Well, she's a probate attorney, so she should understand the real estate transaction.
Yeah. And this person also say he works for the TC, so all the paperwork is going to go through the TC. So that's another thing we're going to look at.
I would go the route of the sister-in-law and run everything through the law firm.
Okay.
Because a probate attorney will understand they get escrow accounts. They probably have an escrow account.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would, with something as this complex. So yeah, I would definitely go that route. It would be well worth it, especially she's a sister-in-law. So
yeah,
is this what, a brother's wife or something?
Yeah, it's my husband's brother's wife. My husband's a twin, by the way, identical twins as his brother's wife, right?
That's great. Yeah. So you're probably close to her.
Oh yeah. We have dinner all the time. Yeah.
You've got an attorney in the family. I would definitely run this past her.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and talk to some other Gators as well. But yeah, I'm waiting on him to send me the listing for the property with the hard money loan on it, plus the one that is closing in 7 days, plus the one that he wants me to put the lien on.
Trying to cold call an attorney to do this. First off, every single one you talk to can do it. All right.
Yeah.
Or they're going to tell you they can do it. And then they're going to charge you to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But with your sister-in-law, plus know her,
Yeah. I just sent her a text, so she'll answer it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
she's going to put the extra effort in it for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Plus,
think that's
what
what
I
I'm
do.
working. Yeah.
The
What I do.
inspection.
Inspection day. Oh yeah. What was it? It said when it gets the money, it's gonna do the work in 3 weeks, and then it has a week for the inspection for the hard money lender to inspect it in order to give them the funds. So that's gonna run me right after Christmas, I think.
Yeah.
But he said a week before he finished the work, he's gonna schedule the inspection. He's not gonna wait till the inspection is finished, since the inspection takes a while.
Yeah.
So when he gets to the 5 days to finish the work and then schedule the inspection, so it won't take so long. So the inspection should be the end of December to the beginning of January. And then after the payback will take about a week after inspection. So he wants to pay me back within 30 to 60 days. So it's in that area. So payment probably come back somewhere in mid-January.
And those timelines will be laid out in his hard money loan doc.
Exactly. That's why I asked for his hard money loan document. So
Yeah.
at least I'll have
All
that.
that'll be in there.
Right. Okay. And the listing for the property, because I want to see what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for SOP, SOW.
Yeah, every hard money loan I've ever done had that timeline in there. Do this work, get the inspection, get
All right.
your
Okay.
draw.
Yeah. This is a first for me. I've never asked anybody ask to borrow something like that. So we're gonna put it down and have an experience, and we can share it later.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things too that you know, once you get that paperwork, you don't have to pay for it again.
That is true. That is true.
Kind of like the, you know, $3,000 I paid for this contract.
How is that going? Oh, you waiting on the seller? The seller came back with questions, and you
Yeah,
already.
so well, I sent the contract to him last Saturday. He said he was looking at it last Monday, but obviously being Thanksgiving week, he texted me on Friday and said he had a couple of questions. He didn't get them to me, and then he finally sent them to me last night. So then I printed them out, and I got to answer them today.
Okay.
But yeah, moving along.
Moving along, yeah. As long as they asking questions, it's moving along.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got to go back. I think I got to make one more change. I'm not sure if I made it clear that I need 3 years tax returns.
You need what?
3 years tax returns.
Oh, okay. 3 years.
Because Joe's buyer, Greg, his buyer needs 3 years tax returns.
3 years.
Everybody knows people will lie in their P&L, but they will not lie to the IRS.
They can try, but they'll get caught.
Yeah, you can lie to the IRS. Getting caught, be expensive.
Yep, expensive. Lie to pay, yeah.
So, anyway, hope that was helpful.
Yeah, it was helpful. It's helpful. I mean, yeah, I talked to my team. I talked to Joe, and I talked to a couple more people, and I got some questions in that I didn't realize I need to ask. So now I'm waiting for him to send me the documentation. Then I figure which way I'm going, whether I'm doing the lien or just doing the promissory note signed and sealed and notarized and all that stuff. So
That's kind of the way I look at when I have to hire an attorney, because I want to hire an attorney once.
yeah. And the person that asked for the money, I've done 2 deals with them already, and I didn't have any problem, got paid back and everything. So
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
If you got an existing relationship, and because it's a little more complex, you've got an attorney that's a family member, I think you're pretty covered.
Yeah. And he said it'll pay back anywhere from 35 to 40. So I'm gonna meet him in the middle.
Yeah. Especially if he's a repeat customer. If you want him to keep coming back, that's
I'm
smart.
not gonna go. I'm not gonna go to the 40%, but I'm gonna meet him in the middle between 35 and 40. See what happens. That's if I go with it, yeah.
And there's a guy who clearly gets that it's about a team.
Yeah, he does, because he needs the funds. So he said, you know what, you have the upper end because you have the funds that I need. So whatever you want back, that's what he'll do.
Yeah.
Plus, he is a repeat customer.
Yeah, he is a repeat customer.
Yeah. Well, good.
All right, so that's it for me.
All right. Anybody else got anything? No?
No, just dealing with the holiday stuff. You know, everybody piled
One
on
more-
Monday.
Everybody's slowing down for the holiday.
One more
Yeah.
question.
Oh, go ahead.
Prop wire. I'm having issues doing the comp stuff, but I started to look at the filters and started putting in MLS stuff and all these things. And my God, I found more properties than I would find on Zillow.
Yep.
I mean, I was
Welcome to Prop Y.
Welcome to
weird.
Broadway.
Free
Yeah,
Prop
I just
Y.
I wish I could figure out. I just have a problem with doing the comps. The comps don't run good because they always have a little estimate on the side. And I just, how do I fix that?
Take your best guess.
And again, the way I do it is I take PropWire's estimate, I take Zillow's estimate, and I take Redfin's estimate.
And do the
You're talking about
average.
the estimate on Zillow?
Yeah.
Okay.
I take PropWire's, Zillow's, and Redfin's. Add those three up and then divide by 3, and I'm guessing that's going to be pretty close.
Okay.
Pretty close.
Now, that being said, I am not buying this to own it and rehab it and sell it.
Mhm.
I am putting, I just need to be close so that I can get it under contract. And then when I wholesale it, it's up to the person buying it for me to do their own due diligence. They might ask me, for your comps, all right, fine. Here's the 3 comps that I use. The PropWire, Zillow, Redfin, here it is. And the reason why I don't get into the nitty gritty of trying to be so exact is because I don't know how much experience the rehabber has. I don't know how much resources the rehabber has. I don't know what the rehabber's relationship with their suppliers is. They may be able to get better deals than I can. So their rehab cost might be less than what I think it is.
Can I ask you another question then?
Of course. Don't do the other guy's job for him. Let me put it that way.
Oh, yeah, I'm not talking about that, but let's just say the house is, I don't know. You're close on your price. You're gonna get your wholesale portion, but if they are not doing their due diligence when they buy it, is that more like, oh well, too bad, so sad?
Yeah.
Okay, because don't we want to keep good relations, or we just do the numbers and keep going?
At the end of the day, you cannot be responsible for other people's decisions.
I know you can't. I know you can't.
You can do the best job you can. Say, listen, here's the deal. You want it or no? If they say yes, they can't come back on you like, oh, you gave me a bad deal. Well, no, I didn't hold a gun to your head and told you to, made you sign this thing.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, if you screw up the numbers, you'll put it out to 10 or 15 buyers and everybody says no. Yeah, your numbers are wrong.
Yeah. So
But
it's not
you
like
got
a
a burnout. You got a burnout like Adrian's got, where he's got a 25%, which is got to be close to what the land value is. It's hard to screw that deal up. I mean, even with a burnout, you could wholesale that thing at 40% of ARV all day long.
Yeah, and I know it's not like, this isn't Denzel Washington and you're not putting a gun to your head and telling you to smoke it. So I get it. I
got this property down in Venice where I'm trying to get the seller to lock down the contract with the seller. But then I got a buyer who contacted me off of my marketing. And she's like, all we need is to make $60,000. I'm like, are you at 70% minus ARV? She's like, it's not that complex. We just need to make $60,000 on a deal. I'm like, okay, fine. Well, there's a buyer who's, they want to do more deals, more volume, and make less money. I mean, some people want to make, 70% minus repairs, on a $200,000 house, or, this woman and her partner, they don't care what the numbers are. They just want to make sure there's a $60,000 profit in there. Well, that makes life really easy.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just like, wow, man. It's like,
But the thing about it is to make all that go away, Let me ask you a question. How many reliable buyers do you have on a buyer's list? You're going to need 8 times as many.
All right.
You've got 4. I would make a goal of getting 20
Yeah, I know.
and then go
I've
down
been-
through the questions, you know. What are you looking for? Where are you looking for it? What, you know, what percentage of ARV do you buy as a percentage of ARV? Yes or no?
I'll be honest with you. What I've been doing is just looking at properties, calling on them, comping them, go, send deal. I really haven't been throwing out trying to look for buyers. I know I should, but you know, then you get comfortable when a mentor says, "Dude, you got a good buyer here. What's wrong with us? Nothing's wrong with you. I'll send you the deals." But you don't hear back from them, and they're like, "Well, I would buy it at this," and it's better to just buy, have little mom and pop buyers instead of looking for a Keegley or a because I don't know anybody from Open Door, and I don't know anybody from what's the other one? What's the other big wig one? So yeah.
But bottom line is go out and build your own buyer's list.
Yeah.
What did Jamil spend the last 10 years doing? Building his own buyer's list. Just go build your own buyer's list. And one of the greatest way to do that in PropWire is search cash buyers, and in the filter where it talks about the owner owns 5 or more properties.
Ah. I like
And
it.
all PropWire is going to do is going to show you what I do, cash buyer, last 5 years, individual, not corporation, because it makes it easier to find them, and then owns 5 or more properties. You know, every single one of those people is an investor.
Well, I thought, to be honest with you, when I went to my first meetup with Wholesale Hotline, and I sat next to a guy that wanted like 20 to 25%, I was like, man, this guy is, what is this, aristocrat or some kind of person that thinks that their shit doesn't
Probably
stink? I'm
do.
like, good
Or
God.
hang on. When did you go to your first taping?
March
Of this year?
Yeah.
The market turned in November. But most people didn't get it until a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I know.
So, if there's that father and son couple on YouTube, they're talking about 83% of ARV minus repairs. That's in a hot market. This is not that anymore.
Yeah.
So when that guy said that to you way back in March, beginning of March, that worked because he was of the mental picture, get the deal, and then appreciation will come and make up the difference.
And it was a high-end property. And I was like, wow, I was more looking like, 10%, maybe 8 to 12. You'll know 25%. I got to make money out of this. I'm like, whoa, I'm way out of my league. I don't understand why you're doing it. Now I understand.
And the thing about it is we talked about this last week where people go to, Google to learn how to wholesale real estate, and they watch these videos and they think that, what they learned in that video is what they need to be doing, but they don't look at the date that video was posted.
Yeah.
If they're watching a video on how to wholesale 3 years ago, completely different market today. That's why, I said earlier, did you guys see the last video that Pace posted? Well, that video was recorded probably in the last 7 days. And he's saying, if you're new, foreclosures, expired listings.
Yeah, I get it. I get it now. You just got to keep up to date with these guys, even though.
Well, that's
I
what I'm
like
saying.
that.
Is strategies change depending on what phase of the market we're in. And the
What
market
phase?
is constantly changing.
What phase do you think it's in right now?
Buyers phase 1. I know exactly what it is.
What does that mean?
All right. I don't have them committed to memory, but I will
Okay.
for next Monday. Come back next Monday and I'll
Okay.
show
Okay.
you buyers phase 1, buyers phase 2, sellers phase 1, sellers phase 2.
Okay. I
There's,
just like
there's
listening.
characteristics.
Yeah, I just like listening. I'm like, well, what is that? What is that? What is that?
Yeah,
I
and
feel like a kid.
I don't want. I want to give you the exact details. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
You know, when I'm doing this stuff, I feel like I'm a kid in the 50s in a candy store. So that's why I ask all these questions, like, you know, I feel like my head's gonna spin off, and you're gonna be like, "Hey, get the fuck out of my store, kid."
No, Dennis, a lot of the questions you ask, I'm thinking, I just don't know how to frame it, but no, keep asking. Trust me. I think it's good in a small setting too. You know,
Yeah,
we all
it's
can
just
learn
so-
off each other.
I
Just
will
so
tell you,
interesting.
there is no such thing as a stupid question, but there are all kinds of stupid answers.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just made a note. Next week, I'll explain the 4 market cycles.
And then Mike,
Sure.
so do you record these that we
I
can watch
surely do.
basically? You do?
I record them and I put them on my YouTube channel.
Okay. I'll find you on there. No said.
Alright.
I was gonna ask where, but that's fine. I'll find you. Just because there's information sometimes that I want to go back to, I don't remember, or if I'm not writing notes, it can get lost. So okay. And you
Like we've been
You-
at
you-
this for an hour and a half. When I get off, I will put it into CapCut. I mean, I'll do a little bit editing, like put my trailer on the end and all that stuff.
Right.
But then it takes probably 2 hours to render it. So then once it renders, then I'll probably start uploading it to YouTube sometime around 10 o'clock and it'll finish like around 12.
Okay. And you've had all the previous ones on there too?
Well, yeah, all of them, yeah. Except for the ones where Zoom screwed up and didn't actually record it.
Hey guys,
Okay.
I just looked at a property just a minute ago that's a trailer park. So I'll reach out to you tomorrow.
Where is the trailer park?
Here.
Right in your house?
Yeah. I got Joe Bob over here and Sally J with no teeth. Yep. Nope. No.
Phoenix?
I
Are you
got
saying Phoenix?
Phoenix.
All right, so it's not in Glendale or
No, it looks like it's Phoenix.
Casa
I'll take a
Grande,
look at it.
Tucson.
I'll send it. I'll send it, but I want to I gotta call them first. Make sure it's the park, not just one house.
All right. The other thing,
Alright.
does the park own the land or do the individual tenants own the land?
Take a look at it.
Cool.
I appreciate your time.
And of course, what's the first question out of your mouth when you talk to them? Well, not the first, but what's a question you got to ask before you get off the phone? Let me put it that way.
I need the cap rates. I need your due diligence and
You don't need cap rate.
12-month P&L.
Bang!
12 month.
That's my man, Joe.
Profit and loss. That's what I was going to say.
12-month
Wow.
trailing P&L. See, the cap rate is going to be determined on the amount of money that you have to invest. And then the cap rate just tells you how long it takes to get your money back.
All right.
So that's a number that's a number for when you determine price and then how much cash you got to come up with. And the seller's not going to have a clue.
All right.
Now, that
I'll
being
share-
said, is this a listed property or is it off market?
It is listed right now, but let me call them and find out what's going on because that doesn't
Okay.
mean that.
But all right, if you're talking to an agent, they will definitely have a cap rate.
Okay.
And if it's anything
Yeah.
below an 8, tell them, "Oh, that's nice." But
Yeah.
nobody buying it that. Nobody buying it.
Redfin's estimating 2.8. So I don't know.
Right. And the reason why is they're like, well, what do you mean nobody's buying below 8? Well, mortgage rates are at 7. If I was to buy your property and get a 7% mortgage and buy your property at a 5% cap rate, I'm losing 2% a month, or excuse me, 2% a year.
Yeah.
That's what cap rate is.
Yeah. That's a scary thing.
Well, it's not scary. It's just data. And that's what I'm saying. That's why cap rates fluctuate with the cost of money. And we've been in a hot market. And the reason why is for the last 10 years, the Federal Reserve has been loaning, giving money to the banks at 0% interest. Well, when the banks can borrow it at 0% interest, they can loan it out at 3 and 4% and make money.
But don't we have to refinance that thing if it's a commercial property every 5 years?
Depends on the bank, depends on the terms. And the other
Okay.
thing you want to ask is, does the seller have a mortgage on the property? If not, will the seller take back seller financing? If the seller does, will the seller, do a subject to deal?
Yeah, let me find out. I'll let you know.
Cool. But the one thing you need to get is the 12-month trailing P&L.
I'll get it.
And I mean the last 12 months, not 12 months 3 years ago.
All right.
And they will try to pull that bullshit on you, let me tell you.
Well, they all try to do that bullshit. Like they don't hear me. Like they're deaf or something, or Stevie Wonder. They can't see what I'm talking about. Like, can I get the disclosure? Can I get what your ARVs are at, your comparables?
They
You
have
hear
no
crickets.
You're talking
What?
Greek to them.
I look around like, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
So, all right.
And again, you may not have gotten everything you wanted from your gurus, but what you know is 90% of everybody, you know more than 90% of the people out there.
Oh yeah, I will always kiss his ass. I mean, he's good. He's good at something. I'm not saying he's good for nothing. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Giving me a lot.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I want? I want to get what is it? Proof of concept.
Yeah, I get it. And I'm trying to do the best I can to help you out.
You're doing a great job.
And
All
I
right,
try
let me
to
get to this.
lead by example.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know if that's part of that movie what's from Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, either Heat, it's the beginning of Heat, or you got a good thing going over there. Yeah, that's what I remember from that movie. They all had a safety vest on.
Yeah, I think that was Heat.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you. I'll talk to you
Cool.
later.
You guys got anything else? All right, we'll wrap it up for tonight. And then Adrian, this week I will actually send out a link to the video and to the channel where all the other videos are. So look for that email like tomorrow morning, because I don't think I'll have time to get to it tonight. Just because, like I said, it takes CapCut on this computer 2 hours to render the hour and 30-minute Zoom call, and then it takes a while to probably another 40 minutes to an hour to upload it to YouTube.
Yeah, it's fine. I got so much stuff to look at tonight.
Cool.
Just like,
All right.
yeah, so I appreciate it.
All right, guys, if you need anything, call me.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.